Lost Louisiana is supported by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Through artistic support, libraries, museums, state parks, and historic areas, we're preserving and promoting our cultural heritage. Lost Louisiana is also made possible by the support of viewers like you.
Somewhere around here, the Atchafalaya River begins, but no one can point to the exact spot. You could say it's where the Red River grazes the, for now, immovable Mississippi and ricochets south. But this molasses-colored beauty is picking up speed and leaving the Red River's meandering ways in the North Louisiana dust. Pace its brisk march to the Gulf, and you'll see the Atchafalaya for real. I'm Jeff Dewey. This is not a history, not a biography of the river, but a simple journey. This is our trip down and along and running aside one of Louisiana's great cultural streams. You and I are out for another of our road trips. In search of lost Louisiana, rivers run deep. This is the Atchafalaya. Flowing by here, the stream is still called the Red River. But if the Cajuns had their own empire, this would be Ultima Thule, the northernmost border post up near Marksville. For the Confederates, it was literally an outpost. Fort DeRussy is now a state historic area, but all that remains are graves and splinters of a time when it stood against northern invaders. Today, a poignant gesture will help to reconstruct the memory of this little-known outpost. Today, a Louisiana hero is coming home.
Louis DeRussy, the man for whom the fort was named, was buried in Natchitoches originally. The cemetery in which he was buried has since been abandoned. There are legends of buried gold in the cemetery, and as a result, it's highly vandalized. The graves are constantly dug in. All of the tombstones have been stolen. And when we saw the condition of the general's grave, we decided he would be better honored buried here at the fort that bears his name. We got a court order. We spoke to families of the members of the family, and we had him disinterred by archaeologists from Northwestern State University. The result was the funeral you saw here today.
Steve Mayu has come to pay his respects to General DeRussy and to detail the man's life so we won't forget him. As the caissons slowly return the general, it's striking to see which flag drapes his coffin. If anything this controversial, we might also reflect the service is not for us, but for him.
Louis DeRussy was the oldest West Point graduate to serve in the Confederate Army. He was a major general in the Louisiana State Militia. He served in the War of 1812, the Mexican War, and the Civil War, which is the equivalent of somebody today who had served, or somebody not long ago, who had served in World War I, World War II, and Vietnam. He was a paymaster at Fort Jessup, just outside of Natchitoches, and he also paid Fort Towson up in Oklahoma, further up the Red River. And one time while bringing the payroll up to Fort Towson in 1842, the steamboat sank, he lost the payroll, and as a result, he was canned from the Army. He went into his engineering career. When the Mexican War broke out, he volunteered and went to Mexico as a colonel of a Louisiana regiment. When the Civil War broke out, once again, he volunteered and was colonel of a Louisiana infantry regiment that went up to Virginia. In Virginia, he found his brother, his older brother, at Fortress Monroe, right across the lines from him, and the two brothers would not fight each other. So Louis came back to Louisiana, and Renee had himself sent to California.
Celebrants in remarkable numbers are here. They throw hands full of dirt to his honor. After so much war in his life, General DeRussy will rest in peace on the northern edge of Cajun Louisiana.